Hi there, it's Beauty Junkie. Welcome to my channel. Today I am getting into the new Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. I'm trying it out for the first time with you, so it will be a first impressions foundation video. I have the shade number 3, Cool, which I believe is the lightest cool tone shade if you also have a similar skin tone to me. This is the bottle. I'm kind of loving that it's in a tube. Always a fan of that. Has a nice beautiful pump. It has the gorgeous rose gold, typical Charlotte Tilbury packaging, except this time, it isn't a tube. Sometimes you expect luxury brands to always be in like really heavy glass bottles, but I think this is a lot more convenient. It's easy to put in your bag. You don't have to worry about it breaking. Love that. I'm going to get into the details, the claims of this foundation, and then I want to try it on. And then I'm going to do a full face of Charlotte Tilbury makeup. I don't have every type of product, but I do have a number of things that I can put on my face that is Charlotte Tilbury. So, Beautiful Skin Foundation. I think it's always funny what people decide to name their foundations. If you had beautiful skin, you probably wouldn't need this foundation. No, that's not true. It makes your skin beautiful, right? That's the point. So there's a lot of percentages on here. Actually, there's just one in English and one in, I don't know, French. Skin looks more radiant by up to 285%. I think that's a little bit high. It says long-lasting pollution defense. Okay, is there some antioxidants in here? It says science plus color. So I got this from Space NK because I thought they were the first to launch it, but it took me a while to get the product all the way from over there. So I thought I was going to get it quickly and get out a review quickly. No, of course that didn't happen. This is a medium coverage, light as air foundation infused with hydrating hyaluronic acid, brightening rose complex. Skin looks more beautiful instantly and over time for a healthy looking glow and brighter, smoother looking complexion. Undetectable coverage improves the look of skin with each wear. Clinically proven results boost hydration up by up to 166%. Here's more percentages. Skin looks plumper and smoother by up to 181%. Skin tone looks more even by up to 210%. I don't know how they measure this stuff. Over 90% of users agree it minimizes the appearance of pores, reduces the appearance of pigmentation and dark spots. Skin appears instantly brighter. You blend outwards from the center of your face for natural looking coverage. This was tested on 33 people over 4 weeks, 312 people over 4 weeks. Okay. I think it's interesting when a foundation has percentages like clinical studies, usually like skincare has that kind of a thing. So that is really interesting. I mean, it does have hyaluronic acid, but and something about rose, but I don't know how really amazing this is for your skin. I will note there's no SPF in it, so if you really wanted to do something amazing, you would include SPF, but I know there's issues with including SPF in foundation for a lot of people. So this is made in Italy. This is 1 ounce, 30 mils. This is the back of it. In case you want to see, it has this like, I don't know, sciencey looking design on the packaging. So I did a swatch of shade 3, Cool. I'll go ahead and put that in now. So hopefully that was helpful. I think though, when I put it on my wrist in the sun, it looks a little dark. So I'm hoping it works on my face. I mean, my skin is not really the same on my wrist, but it's an easy place to swatch. Usually though, if you want to do a shade match, you would do it near your face and neck, like in this area, if you want to see if it's a true match. But usually I just have to guess and I pick the lightest cool tone shade no matter what the brand is. That's just what I do. It does not always work out for the best. Alright, so I'm going to do a primer first. I'll do it on half of my face, the Victoria Beckham Cell Rejuvenating Primer. I've been trying a lot of foundations lately. I think this is hopefully, my last new one for a while because I never need a new one, but I'm pretty much doing this for you guys just because I'm curious about this foundation. So half my face with the primer. We'll just see if it makes any sort of difference. Try this out. So that is one pump, you guys. So it's not so thick that it's not dripping. So you can see it running down. So it's a little bit runny, but not super runny, right? It's not super thick either. I think that's always helpful to know like what kind of texture you're getting before you buy. But I don't know if you guys can see also on here, it does look a little bit dark, but I'm going to use a damp sponge to apply. I'm just going to feel it with my fingers a little bit. So it definitely feels thicker, even though it's runny a little bit. When you feel it in between your fingers, it's a little bit of a thicker texture than you might be expecting, especially for like a medium coverage foundation. I feel like I used a lot of the pump already. So this did claim medium coverage, but what did it say? Glowy, radiant. So I'm expecting kind of a radiant finish. I mean, it does say that right on the front. Skin looks more radiant. So I'm not expecting a matte finish, right? Is that what you guys deduce? So that is one pump, one layer. I'm glad that it has some coverage to it. I feel like I could definitely stop here, and most days I would stop with one layer. But we're just going to see what two pumps looks like. And before I do that, I want to look at the side with the primer and the side without. Try to get up a little bit more up close for you guys. So this is the primer side. This is without. Usually pretty hard for me to tell the difference, especially if the foundation's lays down smooth. If it doesn't lay down as smooth, then usually the primer helps out, but I'm not seeing a terribly big difference, except maybe on my chin. This side looks a little bit more textured than this side. Let's see if I can fix that. It looks a little bit better. I think it looks pretty good. I think normally I would just do one layer and probably go in and spot conceal. I'll still do that, but I want to try another layer just for funsies. I feel like this is a pretty glowy foundation, and I feel like I definitely have to set it just because I have combo skin. So I got like a little baby pump. Ooh. I feel like there's air bubbles in here with this kind of applicator because that was a little bit harder to get out. So going back in with another layer, but what I was saying is I think for those of you that are combo that enjoy a radiant finish, you don't like matte formulas, it can be challenging because you can turn into a grease ball a lot quicker. So you're gonna have to probably touch up a little bit more throughout the day with powder or just blot your skin a bit more. And you probably don't want to use 2 layers of this, just to be honest, because that's probably going to increase your glow. I feel like this is really glowy. Like, so I'm filming in the morning and the sun is probably on the brighter side right now. And I'm getting a lot of reflection in the mirror, just bouncing off my skin. But I like the amount of coverage. I think it's really decent and it's quick. I love it with the sponge. It looks really good, actually. I'm happy. I'm definitely happy with this, the way this is looking. I have another Charlotte Tilbury foundation that's a lot runnier and thinner, but full coverage. It's the Airbrush Flawless Finish. Let me go grab that. So this is the other foundation from Charlotte Tilbury that I have to compare to. It's also in shade 3. This is definitely more full coverage. I have mixed feelings about it. This is a thinner, runnier formula. It may look very similar, but I feel like it's, yeah, this Beautiful Skin is thicker feeling, just kind of rubbing my fingers in it. So I don't know if there's like maybe there's like a serum in here or something going on. There's a little bit of a shade difference too. I think the Beautiful Skin Cool Tone number 3 is a better shade match to me because it's slightly more pink, which is what I need. This is more of a neutral. But what I found with the Airbrush Flawless, this guy, it was harder to make things look perfected and smooth. I felt like it takes, like I got fast coverage, but it takes more work to beat that foundation into my skin and really become one with my skin. I found that with a lot of full coverage foundations, it just takes more work to make it look natural. This one is definitely a faster, natural kind of a look, but definitely more radiant. So if you're like that, you're looking for that, great. If you're combo, I have a feeling this might be too radiant or too dewy looking, especially when your oils come through. Very, very pretty. I am going to put some concealer on. I don't have a Charlotte Tilbury concealer, but I do have the Clé de Peau concealer. This is the one with SPF, the stick formula, and I have the shade Ivory. I'm just going to do a little bit under the eyes and where I have some blemishes. That is it for the foundation and concealer. I'm going to take some photos before I do the rest of my makeup, just so you guys can see what this finish looks like up close and personal. When I was taking the photos, I felt like there is definitely like a radiant sheen built into this guy, and I'm trying to look up close. When you look at the foundation up close, I don't see like an obvious shimmer or radiance. So it's subtle, but when it's on the face, especially in 2 layers, you can really see a sheen, and it's almost like the Hollywood Flawless filter is built into this guy. But the Hollywood Flawless filter is definitely, to me, more obviously radiant. Like the sheen is amplified quite a bit. So here's the Beautiful Skin. Here's the Hollywood Flawless filter, the lighter shade. But it does feel like there's some of this product in there. I thought about putting like a little bit of a highlighter on top, but I want you guys to see like the full foundation on its own. I'm not even sure I'm gonna apply blush. To be honest, I don't have a Charlotte Tilbury blush. I do have her highlighter, Beauty Light Wand. I don't think I need it though. There's a squirrel on the roof, my neighbor's roof. Always squirrels on the roof. I'm going to use the Airbrush Flawless Finish powder in shade 1. Not my favorite powder, to be honest, but we're doing Charlotte Tilbury today. So I'm just going to dust this on as my kind of setting powder. I feel like this powder has a good amount of color to it for being a finishing powder, but I think this is going to tone down, yes, a lot of the radiance right now, but in the long run, for me, my skin, this is gonna help when the shine wants to come through, not be so oil slick looking. I definitely have to set my makeup, especially a foundation like this. And let's see what this looks like with the powder. I know a lot of you guys really love this powder. So the radiance is definitely kind of, it's still there, it's still underneath, it's still waiting to come out, but it's definitely toned down now that I put the powder on. I probably put too much. Still see quite a bit of radiance coming through, but definitely toned down a little bit, but it looks really smooth. I think it's gonna be a good makeup day. That's just a feeling that I have. I'm definitely first impressions enjoying the ease and prettiness of this foundation more than like this guy. It took me a couple uses to really appreciate the full coverageness of this, but I just think it's a more work to use something like this. The color's also a little bit off. I like the color of this one. I don't know that it's a perfect match to my neck. Maybe we're a little bit dark, but I think I can work with this. I'm thinking a little bit of bronzer. So I have the Film Star Bronze and Glow in Light, and I have, so I'm gonna use some of this. So I think this is like bronzer, contour kind of a product. I have the little mini version, by the way. I think back in the day, everyone used this duo. You know, just so you guys know, I was really hesitant to get into Charlotte Tilbury, but just because, I don't know, I wasn't like, I like her packaging, but I wasn't like super excited about her brand when it came out, just because I felt like her eyeshadows never really speak to me. I'm really into the eyes. But a lot of things that I have tried, I've kind of carefully selected. And, you know, approaching the brand that way, I've liked a lot of things that she has come out with. But I'm not like a diehard Charlotte Tilbury person. I'm not like picking up everything that comes out. I have like one eyeshadow palette, one little eyeshadow pot. I do really love her cream eyeshadows quite a bit in the pots. Those are amazing. But I have been meaning to pick up her powder blush because I've heard it is iconic kind of a thing, but like I've gotten so long not getting it that it's not like something I feel like I'm missing out on. But I know she's just got such a cult following in the beauty community, and I do think a lot of her products are good, but I just felt like she definitely has an aesthetic in terms of like her colored products and her eyeshadows and her looks that she comes out with. It just seems like all of the same. Now I like the glam aspect of it, and I think she does beautiful work, but I do find it these days just not inspiring, a little bit boring. And I don't know if you guys feel that way. I do think she has some amazing stuff, like the Flawless Filter is really good. I think this highlighter is amazing. I do want to get the contour cream one because I've heard really good things. I know people love this powder, but I'm like, eh. But I do like this little eyeshadow palette that I want to use with you guys. This is an older one. The Flawless Eye Filter Luxury Palette. This is Star Aura. This is very much boring. It's got great packaging. I love the formula of it. But to me, like, these are not unique, spectacular shades. It's special, and then it's smooth, and I do think it's really pretty, But outside of the packaging, like if this came out in another brand, I don't think we would be that excited. You know what I mean? But we could say that about a lot of brands. I'm gonna go into this pink shade here, this pink nudie shade. I do think the problem with this palette, while it is really smooth and shimmery, we could have used a matte in here. Like they're all shimmers. And I don't know if this palette is not meant to be used on its own. I think a lot of us find it annoying when palettes are designed to be used with other palettes. Like, let's just put it all in one palette, you know? This is really pretty. But I do feel like she's got like a warm aesthetic when it comes to the eyes, like a very corally, same set of color story over and over and over again, which I'm not as into, you know? I hate to say it, but I'm not as into. I'm going to use this deeper brown shade. Like, wouldn't it be cool if she came out with like something totally grungy, a whole collection of just deep, rich colors? Wouldn't that be cool? No, that has not happened. You know what I mean? Like, let's come out with something different, but it's all more the same. I mean, I'm not the first person to comment on her collection and just repeats, repackaging. It gets a little boring. And sometimes when these brands are created by makeup artists, I don't know if they just don't have the time commitment that they want to have to like creating new products or making decisions about where the line goes, or they just thought, oh, I'm going to make a makeup line, this is what I want it to be like, but they didn't think about, well, long term, how is this line going to change? What are you going to add to it? Is it just going to be the same aesthetic forever and ever? Because I feel like with brands these days, you always have to be coming out with something different and new for people to continue to be excited and keep buying from it, unfortunately. I do like Charlotte Tilbury. I think she has some good classic products, but I know me personally, I'm a little bit bored. I don't know if you guys feel that way too. I don't want to upset my die-hard Charlotte Tilburys though. Someone asked me in the comments when I've used this eyeshadow palette before, would I suggest this palette for a wedding look? If you want something really light and very shimmery, possibly. I think if I was a makeup artist, I would need to go outside of this palette just because there's no mattes, and like the deepest shade may not work for you. I mean, it's fine. It's very like all different tones of shimmer, but I feel like most looks are not all the same kind of formula in one eye look. Usually we kind of mix up textures. I'm not a makeup artist, but I feel like you mix up textures in most makeup looks, so just kind of sticking to the same texture seems a little bit funny for like a bridal look, but you can certainly incorporate some shades into it. Like the blush pink shade is really pretty, but I think you can find it in other palettes or more complete palettes. Using the Wayne Goss Imperial Topaz, no, Precious Opal Brown eye pencil. Just gonna beef up the lash line. Right, so I have the Pillow Talk Push Up Lashes Mascara from Charlotte Tilbury. I'm not, this brush, people love this mascara. I can't really get this to work for me that well. I feel like the brush hurts my lashes, like it's a very stiff brush. It's dual-sided. I have pretty wimpy lashes. I don't know if that's why, but I feel like it doesn't do what other people can get it to do. Onto the lips, a last step. I do really like her lip pencil, the Lip Cheat Pillow Talk. I've been using it a lot. It's just the right color. I don't think the formula, I mean, the formula is fine. I think it's the color that I really like. I do have a lipstick that I'd probably, it's a little mini sample that probably doesn't go with this lip liner that well because it's pretty dark. And probably doesn't go with this eye look either. This is Walk of No Shame. But this is the Charlotte Tilbury lip product that I have. And it's definitely red. Kind of a brick color. Very comfortable. Actually, I don't mind it with this look. I think it's a very pretty color, actually. Very pretty, kind of makes my lips look alive. This is the final full face of Charlotte Tilbury. What do you guys think of the final result? After I powdered and I, put the rest of my makeup on, I do see some more radiance peeking through, especially just waiting a little bit after I powdered. My skin's warming up, so I'm seeing that glow. I think it's really gorgeous. I don't know how it's going to last throughout the day. I don't usually do like full day wear tests where I check in at the end of the day, but I will try to make a comment. But I will be using this in future videos, so I will give you more developed thoughts than my first impressions, but I do think it applied really easy. I think it looks pretty. I do think this is a well done radiant foundation. I think sometimes these type of foundations just for some reason don't work well. And even on someone like me with combo, just first impressions, like sometimes I put it on these kinds of foundations right away and I'm like, oh, this doesn't look good, but right away I can tell this is something special. So take that for what it's worth. I think if you are looking to find a review of someone on this foundation, I would try to find someone with your skin type. If you have dry skin, I imagine this is going to work really well for you, just because the shine that you might experience will probably be very minimal, so it won't really interfere with the radiance in this foundation. But if you're like super oily, I think you probably will tend to shy away from something like this because your oils on top of the radiance can look a little bit undesirable. But if you're more normal in between, I would just say you might need a little bit of powder throughout the day, a little bit of blotting. But I do think there's something about a radiant foundation that just gives you that inner glow without putting product on top of your skin. You know what I mean? Like you don't need a highlighter. You don't need to add anything to this to get that glow. So it's super convenient, super fast. I think it's a really good foundation, at least so far. But I'll have to let you know at the end of the day what it's like. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts on this foundation. Are you guys wanting to pick it up? Are you going to try it? Are you guys really excited to try it? Are you going to wait to pick it up until there's more reviews? Please let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, click the thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.